So there's this woman that's sharing her rant about being alone and just being completely emotionally frustrated from not finding someone to spend the rest of her life with or someone who matches her energy. Now, as she said in some of her subsequent videos, she knows that when she makes videos, she pinned it on her page, it is going to be open to criticism. People are going to be responding. However, I find that a lot of people, when they make stuff like this, they don't expect people to respond, or they'll say, oh yeah, I expect you to respond. But if people are giving them legitimate advice, they don't want to hear it. And this isn't so much for her because she seems to have already made up her mind, but for other people who might be watching. And there's a lot of people in the comments that are agreeing and saying, yes, exactly. But they're also missing the point. I know the point of her video was to rant, but she did expose a lot of her mindset, which could be seen as red flags overall, and the very reasons why she probably doesn't have anyone that she can spend the rest of her life with. I don't doubt that this person can get someone to be with casually, but a lot of people, when they're in relationships and it doesn't work out, it's usually because you go after someone for one facet of who they are, but you don't ensure that you match on every front. Like if you go after a guy because he's tall and cute, but he's also bad with money and you're good with money, obviously you're gonna have problems later down the line. So let's start.
Quick question. Are you fucking kidding me?
Excuse me? Is that rhetorical? What a way to start off the video. All right, it's a rant. Let's continue.
Like, I am so sick and tired of just everything right now. Everyone is so quick to say, stop doing this, stop thinking like this, stop telling me I'm wrong. I have literally convinced myself at this point, based on everything that everyone's telling me, my therapist, my family, my friends, that I'm just doing everything wrong.
It's very hard for me to take someone like this seriously when, first of all, why are you on here with this video? I mean, you're ranting, I get it, but you cannot come out with something like this and expect people not to point the finger at you and say you're wrong. You have a therapist, but yet when your therapist is telling you these are the things you need to change, the therapist is wrong. Like, I can understand if it's your family and friends, and you're like, everyone's telling me I'm wrong, which is something that you should really think about, because if you're having an issue and everybody around you is saying, yo, bro, there's something on your face, and you're like, you're all wrong, you're probably mentally insane. But then you dropped in, quite honestly, good job for that, but then you drop in that your therapist is also one of those people that are saying that you're doing everything wrong. Well, clearly, the therapist is there to help you. So what did you expect? Bruh, what? Are you serious right now? Are you freaking serious? Are you kidding me right now? I have never. Who goes to a therapist and is like, I realize that there are things about my life that I need to change. Help me. I'm paying you to help me. All right, here are the things you need to change. You're doing all of these things wrong. Fuck you, therapist. What kind of logic is this? What in the ass? Like, I cannot believe I'm still stuck on that, to be honest. I know you're probably tired of hearing it, but maybe you're hearing it all the time and nothing is going right for you because you are doing everything wrong. So you need to reinvent yourself then. If everyone is telling you that you're doing everything that you're doing is wrong, and you yourself have seen the proof of that via not yielding any desirable results, and I hate to break this to you, must mean that everybody's onto something. 99% of everybody can't be wrong, and the 1% usually is the one that's 100% right. I'm not saying that can never happen, but that's not usually the case. Especially when you're not yielding those results yourself. You're basically making this video saying, I'm alone, and why can't I have this? You know, I'm tired of hearing everything I'm doing is wrong. Then why are you making this video, bro? Why are you putting it out there for millions of people to see it? Because you must know that everyone's gonna just continue to say the same thing. I mean, you do have some people like you that are like, yeah, we're tired of hearing that we're wrong too. Lack of accountability much? And if you're making this video, which I'll continue, because you want to draw someone in, I don't think this is good marketing material. Like, I just call me crazy. I don't think a life journal online showing you at your weakest and worst is the best marketing material. That's one thing that she did wrong. That's a very big red flag to me. If some dude or some girl that I might have otherwise been interested in bearing all her private matters online and then not taking any accountability for them whatsoever, I will see that and stay the hell away. Maybe I'd fuck with you a little bit, but then as a life partner, nah. So every time we have a private issue or you're feeling a certain way, you have a therapist. You admitted you have a therapist. Why are you doing this online? I just don't get it.
I'm healing wrong. I'm thinking wrong. I'm training wrong. I'm doing relationships wrong. Everything I do is fucking wrong. And I'm so sick of it. Stop comparing. It's not even about comparison. Like, I genuinely just want love in my life so badly. It's literally not about anyone else. It's just about me and what I want.
First of all, you sound uber desperate. And everything you said just now in that sentence is a red flag and probably the reason why people would stay away from you. And if you're being this raw on camera, I can't imagine how insufferable you might come across in real life. I know that people say this all the time and they don't mean it, but I really am not trying to be mean. I'm just being really blunt. I'm aware that people do put characters on when they're online, and that's different, but at the same time, like, you're doing this rant and you're being raw. Doesn't feel like an act that you're putting on. So if you're literally being yourself, then what you are showing the world, based on what we all are seeing, you are pretty selfish, possibly a little bit narcissistic, because you're desperate for love, and people can smell desperation, and it doesn't smell very good. First of all, you set yourself up to be taken advantage by people, and when people can smell that you're desperate, people are predators. They will say, ooh, she really, really wants this. I can use her. I could take advantage of her. Trust me. Trust me. All of us girls have been there. You're too old to be doing this shit. Secondly, you're saying it's not about anybody else, it's what you want. You do realize that when you're in a relationship with someone, it's about the person as well, right? What makes you think that a man would be attracted to you when you only care about yourself? Rant or not, let's just say you're not like this in your everyday life. Judging from your TikTok, like what else I've seen of you, you're kind of giving those vibes. So you can't really blame guys or girls or whatever you're into for staying away from you, because it's a really big ick. This means that you're the center stage and nobody else matters, and if you are going to try and be with someone, it's only going to come off pretentious, and at some point your true colors are going to show, and you're going to stop trying when you think you've gotten what you want. I had a girlfriend like this once, a friend, and she, funny enough, looked a little bit like you. She was like very white, and that was her main character, villain arc energy. I don't know what was going on with that, but everything had to be about her. Even when I'm dealing with my situation, and she knew I was dealing with my situation. Oh, I want you to come hang out with me. I don't feel like it right now. I don't feel good. I'm sad. Well, you need to think about people other than yourself. You know, how do you think it makes me feel? You know, I'm gonna go there alone. And I'm like, bro, what a friend you are. I didn't say that to her. I should have. But I'm thinking to myself, we're friends. And I literally just told you, you hear me crying. I'm going through a hard time. And all you can think about is your fucking self. Really? And then you wonder why you don't have any friends? I put up with her bullshit a lot, but most people did not. And guess what? She's single and alone. And if you don't think there's anything wrong with that, despite your therapist and professional people telling you this, then that just shows that you have this narcissism complex. You don't want people to tell you you're wrong because you don't want to have any accountability, and you don't want to have to change because it's too hard, and people should just fall at your feet, and people should just give you whatever you want because you want it. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with that. That's disgusting. Just thinking about that makes me nauseous. And if you think that women don't want to put up with that shit, men are worse. Men are like, nah, I will not. And at most, what they'll do is they'll fuck you and then they'll ghost you because you are too much of a headache. You are not wifey material. You are not even girlfriend material until you step out of that mentality. And then it makes it worse. You put this shit online to expose yourself. So even if you did have someone IRL who was interested in you and you were able to fool them into thinking that nothing's wrong with you, despite your therapist saying that, they might come across your video, or someone who knows you might tell them about your video, and then he might see that, and that would turn him off. Your desperation and your need for online validation would turn him the hell off. It would turn me off if I was into girls. I'd be like, why are you putting this online? Why?
And being fucking over the fact that I don't have it. I feel like I have done so much work on myself. I have built a beautiful life for myself. I'm happy with my life where I'm at, my job. I'm successful. I'm independent. I'm healthier than I've ever been. I take such good care of myself. Truly, the only thing I'm missing in my life is someone to enjoy it with. And I'm so sick of waiting. Like, when is it going to be my turn?
Maybe when you stop forcing it and chasing everyone away because you probably smother them or are too clingy or controlling. I don't know that personally about you, but based on the few behaviors you've exhibited just in your clips alone, I can probably tell. I might be wrong, but based on my experience with men who are like that, who are super emotional and super desperate, They're usually super paranoid, super insecure, and super controlling. Doesn't mean they don't love you. Oh, they can love you very well. But oh my God, you must do what they say. And this is coming from me. I'm a submissive person. I love people dominating me, but not when desperate people are dominating me. Like my husband, very confident. He is not desperate. He is not desperate. He and I told each other from the get-go, look, if there's any deal breakers, both of us are leaving. He didn't want me to leave, but he's like, look, if something happens and you decide you want to go, then you go. He doesn't want to ever be in a situation, because we've both gone through that, where you love someone so much that now you're going to forego your own happiness. And I admired him for that, because I've been with other guys where I'm like, look, this isn't working. And they're so desperate to the point where even though I end the relationship with them, they do not want to accept that the relationship is ended. And I'm telling them, look, we're over. No, we're not. Okay. Okay, well, but I say I don't want to be in a relationship with you. No, it's okay. I'll love us for both of us. And two separate guys on two separate occasions told me that shit. And I said, well, I'm going to like other people. Like, I'm not in a relationship with you. You're the only one who feels like you're in a relationship, and I'm sorry. That's okay. I'm like, okay. And then they feel shocked when I actually do move on, and they're coming around, and it's very uncomfortable because I don't like hurting people's feelings, but at the same time, it's like, bro, the desperation makes you look worse. And you can feel that in the relationship. Like, they can't be away for you for more than 2 seconds. Like, you know, if you happen to be with a girlfriend or a guy, and it's just, you're all in a group and everyone's laughing at the joke, but you're laughing at the joke too. They look over at you with this glare. Oh, do you like him? Like, what? Everyone's laughing. What are you talking about? Or like the pizza deli guy when I was a freaking minor. I was freaking 14 and he was always talking weird to me. He probably thought we were in a relationship we weren't in. And I'm too shy to say anything to this grown-ass 50-year-old man. And so I brought my neighbor, my friend's father, in. Now, he's not the best looking guy, really heavy, like 300 pounds, but, you know, whatever. And I'm like, you know, just pretend you're my dad and I'm your adopted child, you know? So we come in, I'm like, Dad, can I have that? And the freaking deli Italian guy's looking at me and looking at him like he wants to kill the guy. And then after, he pulls me to the side. Mind you, I'm a minor. Pulls me to the side. Why would you bring him into my shop to flaunt that in front of me? And I thought he was joking at first, but no, he was legit, like, had tears in his eyes and everything. I'm like, I didn't know what to say. I really was like shocked, and he looked like somebody who would beat the shit out of me if I was in the room alone with him. And that's that weird, desperate energy where people think that they're in a relationship with you, or that something is happening that really isn't happening, or that you guys have something that you really don't have. And then they act all hurt when reality slaps them in the face. And that same type of energy that I've gotten from guys is the same type of energy this girl gives off. And don't tell her she's wrong, because she'll probably be like, yeah, you're right. And then she'll backtrack and be like, no, you're the one who does this. How could you make me feel this way? Can't you understand what I'm going through? I've done this for you. Everything is about them. All of a sudden, they turn around and make themselves the victim and make you the villain. Am I wrong? There's a reason. She goes into saying why her friends all have men and you don't. You're not ugly. So it has to be you. It has to be something that sends people running for the hills. And until you find that thing, which your therapist you're paying them to do, you have to accept that you are not where you need to be completely. Doesn't mean that you should discount all the work that has gone into where you are now, but it just means you're not completely there. There's still work to be done. And all people need to do is freaking get over themselves. When I kept getting cheated on by guys, I didn't blame them. Yeah, they're assholes. But you know what I did? I must be choosing wrong, obviously. And I learned to pick up patterns from people. And I said this thing and this thing and this thing. Super extroverted guys like parties. I don't care how hot they are. I don't care how much money they have. That does not matter to me. What matters to me is being faithful and being honest and open. I'm like the kind of person that you could tell me the most heinous shit that you've thought of and whatever, and I will not judge you. I've been with guys who have a record because I'm dumb and because it was in their past, and I'm like, I love you for you. You're not that person anymore. That's just who I am. And unless you show me a reason not to trust you, I will trust you. But I did pick up certain patterns with certain people, and I'm sorry, most of the time, most extroverted guys that need people interaction more likely to cheat, especially if they're super hot. It is what it is. Also, they don't like me not being with them, which it sounds stupid, but sometimes I need a break. Like, I like being around you, but if you want to talk 24/7 and party 24, that's not the kind of person I am. And I would never ask someone to change who they are at their core to fit my lifestyle. We can do those things, but I would like to spend time alone with you too, not always with your guys and 16 girls around you all the time. That's just not my shtick. It's fun once in a while, not all the time. Your spontaneity is very sweet and charming, but when you're always blowing through money, that's not fun all the time, because guess what? We end up fighting over money. So I learned those things. And when I get to know someone, which everyone should do, you should get to know someone, have an interview with them. That's what me and my husband did. Before we started dating, I knew he liked me. I liked him. We sat down. I told him how I felt because he was too shy and he would never say anything. And after we started talking to each other, he put me through the interview phase. He's an INTJ dude, par for the course. But anyway, put me through that phase and he's like, so what do you think about this? Ask me political questions, ask me religious questions, ask me about kids, ask me about this, ask me about that. I mean, I went through 240 questions. I asked him questions as well. We gave each other hypotheticals. And after we were like, okay, we agree on these things, we disagree on these things, we can meet in the middle with these things, went to see each other. He doesn't mind me sharing this, but we hooked up for the first time after we talked to each other for months. And then after, he was like, all right, we're sexually compatible. I'm like, bro. I thought that was so cute. It's like the nerdiest thing he could say, but I love it. And what I love about him too is that he's okay with being alone. I was okay with being alone. We both went through horrible relationships. We both had been cheated on. Neither of us were desperate. Even though he was alone for a long time, he wasn't desperate. And I appreciate that. If he didn't agree with something that I wanted, or if I asked him to do something and he didn't want to do it, he was like, no, I'm not doing that. He wasn't a simp. That was super attractive to me because most guys I've been around were simps. And I don't mean this in like a bad way. I mean, they don't have any identity for themselves. The way I started out, where it's like, oh, I love them so much, I'll just do anything for them. I had to learn to cut that shit down because apparently guys don't like that either. As much as guys say they do, no, they end up cheating on you. They don't like that shit. When a woman worships them, they can't handle it. They get bored. They're like, she's never gonna leave. Why do I have to worry about her? This woman over here, though, playing hard to get, she gets my dick hard. They will say, the guys and girls will say, I want this, and they don't want it. When they get it, they mistreat it. Girls will say, I want a stable guy who treats me nice all the time and has no masculinity. He's super sweet. They cheat on him with the dudes that they call toxic masculine. Same thing with the guys. I want a nice demure girl who's a traditional wife. She knows how to cover up and be a freak in bed. They cheat on her for the girl that looks like an Insta-baddie. Like, people will say they want something, but trust me, when it's 100% something in either direction, or the more toxic it is, people will gravitate towards that. People have to feel like they're gonna lose you. And maybe that's this girl's problem as well. Maybe she's way too clingy and controlling, and the person's just trying to breathe for a second. And she's like, no breathing for you today. We're fishing it up. I'm just guessing, though.
What more do I have to do to fix myself before I'm just allowed to be happy? Before I'm allowed to meet this universe soulmate person that God supposedly has for me? How much harder do I have to pray and manifest and wait? I feel like I'm being punished for something I didn't do. And I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I don't expect a lot. I just want love in my life so bad. I want my life partner. Am I just supposed to be alone? Like, is that the message? That this beautiful life I've built for myself, like, it's just supposed to be me in it alone? Like, I know I have my dog and I love him so much, but like, I need love. All of my friends have their fiancés and their boyfriends and their husbands that they prioritize. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I've been left behind.
Well, let's break down a few of the things that she says here, because she's asking these questions, and I'm guessing most of them, or maybe I could be wrong, but they don't all seem rhetorical. If she's desperate enough to make a video like this, she's probably looking for answers, and I don't think anybody would share this stuff online unless they genuinely want attention, sympathy, or legit advice. You can't put something up like this for you asking these questions and crying out into the universe, and yeah, people are going to sympathize with you, but people also are going to want to help because you're asking these questions. And some people will take that literally and try to help you, but then you can't be like, I didn't ask for your help. You are posing questions, though, that people might have the answer to that you don't, and you're desperate enough to seek them by putting this online. So here are some things that I would address. And I'm not a guru or anything, but I am married and I've been with this person for a very, very long time. Both of us have had long-term relationships, and it doesn't always have to be a horrific, catastrophic ending. Sometimes you just find that you're not compatible with that person. Doesn't mean they did anything wrong, doesn't mean you did anything wrong. You're just not compatible. And that might be part of the issue here.
What more do I have to do to fix myself before I'm just allowed to be happy? Before I'm allowed to meet this universe soulmate person that God supposedly has for me?
That's what your therapist is for. Stop trying to rush through the process. If you really do want to fix yourself, then you know it's not a rushed process. Also, this idea of this universal soulmate thing is probably where a lot of people are tripping up. I used to have the same mentality. Oh, God has someone for me. And if I waited on God, I wouldn't have married who I married now because something would always be wrong with them. And when you look at things through the lens of it's a soulmate that must be perfect in every way, that's not usually the case. You know what works? When you try to find someone who matches your energy, as you say, and that person might not be the most attractive person, that person might not be the richest person, that person might not have the personality type you expect them to have. They might not be super romantic or charismatic. They might be a little bit more introverted or shy or whatever the case is, but they perfectly complement you. You cannot find people who match your energy and expect that to last long term. Now, I know what girls mean when they say this, but oftentimes they want someone to vibe with. That's what your friends are for. Your partner is supposed to complement you. Yes, you can have someone that you can vibe with that also does complement you, but a lot of girls that I've seen expect to have someone who's just like them or super fun or this Disney prince type personality that everybody wants but can't handle. And that's what's causing a lot of women to be alone because they have these unrealistic expectations of some fantasy partner that does not exist in reality. That's what's messing a lot of y'all up. You have too many expectations. You say you don't expect a lot, but you kind of do. You're expecting your soulmate and someone to match your energy, which is a lot. So you are expecting a lot. Stop doing that. Take a step back and start looking at men as men. If that's what you're interested in, start looking at people as people. Understand that everyone isn't going to be exactly like you. You need to find someone who will put up with your shit and who can compliment you and challenge you and support you. And you need to be willing to do the same for that person.
How much harder do I have to pray and manifest and wait? I feel like I'm being punished for something I didn't do.
That's the other problem. Praying and manifesting, what the frick are you talking about? You live in the real world, honey. This isn't a fantasy Matrix saga. You need to live in the real world. Praying and manifesting doesn't do shit. Trust me, I have tried. And you will sit there for years upon years being like, no, this is the person God has for me. He's gonna have these qualities and this long 60-page list of things that God would give me. No. No. You yourself are not perfect. You cannot expect someone who's perfect. And I know people probably think, oh, she's not saying that she's expecting someone that's perfect. Yes, you are. Because when people are asking for manifestation and God to rain down a jizz factory on them, it's usually a guy that fits all the qualities that they think in their head that they want. And that's not real life. Real life doesn't occur like that. There is no perfect man and there's no perfect woman. That's why you have a therapist. Listen to what the therapist is saying. Also, get some advice. Maybe not from your friends, because if they're all having their partners and you don't, they probably, I'm guessing, haven't told you what you're doing wrong. I'm not saying that this is her friends particularly, but I know girls who will, yes, queen, yes, you deserve better. And they'll have their good life and talk about this person behind their back saying, yeah, well, maybe if she wasn't such an insufferable bitch, she'd have a guy. I've heard girlfriends talking about their other girlfriends like that, but yet they will not be honest to their face to actually try to help them. And I can't even blame all of them, because if this is a person that they have as a friend, like the person in this video, you probably can't even tell them shit. As a friend, you probably look, this is why you're doing this, and you have this girl being like, stop telling me I'm wrong. And then their friends are gonna be like, all right, cool, whatever, she doesn't wanna hear it. Never mind. And they'll just all have their happily ever after while you sit down there wondering, what am I doing wrong? Bitch, everyone tried to tell you. Your therapist is trying to tell you, and yet you can't catch a clue?
And I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I don't expect a lot. I just want love in my life so bad. I want my life partner. Am I just supposed to be alone? Is that the message? That this beautiful life I've built for myself, it's just supposed to be me in it alone?
Nothing is wrong with you building a life for yourself, and I encourage everyone to do that. But if you are building a life and you're not considering anybody in the future, like children or a partner, then you're not going to have time. Unless you have the kind of job that will allow for that. If you're solely focused on your career, and I hate saying this, it depends on what you do though. But I know some people, guys and women, that have a career and their whole life is their career, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just understand that there is a balance. And if 100%, 90 to 100% of your efforts are going into building up your career and climbing the corporate ladder or whatever it is you're doing, just understand that your relationships are going to suffer. Same thing with guys. You'll notice the most successful guys usually have shit marriages, unless the woman can put up with their guy not being around for a long time. And then they're fucking their dude behind their back because they never see them. It's kind of fucked up, but that's how the world works. Now, if you want to allow relationships to be a part of your life, then you have to consider that and balance this out. This is what this looks like. For example, I wanted to be a vet and I decided, you know what? No, I'm not going to want to study veterinary medicine because as much as I love animals, first of all, if I lose an animal, that's my whole day. I cannot emotionally function. That would wear me down and I'd be depressed. I can't do it. Second of all, I'm not going to take a job where I don't have any time for any social stuff because I like dick and I like sex and I like being with someone. So I know that if I take this job, I am never going to have time to have relationships, and anyone who would be interested in me would know I don't have time, so they wouldn't be serious about me. So I forwent those specific occupations, and I also didn't choose men that were soldiers or firefighters or those heroic people that their job comes first. Medical doctors, their job comes first. I cannot handle that. I am not strong enough to handle that. I'm not strong enough to be the wife of a military man who is going to be gone for years, for months at a time or for years. I just can't. I know who I am and I know I cannot. So I specifically, no matter how charming the guy was, I knew that wasn't the lifestyle for me. That wouldn't be compatible with what I wanted. I want someone who I could spend time with and who I can massage, and they can massage me, and we can play video games together, and we can help build a house together. Like that's what I wanted. So we looked for someone to match my personality or complement my personality. And nerdy guys were more where it's at. Like, I'm a nerd. I found someone else who's a nerd, but who also is the logical kind of person. I'm more creative. I'm good at things he's not good at. He's great at things I'm not good at. Complement each other. Is he perfect? Hell no. Am I perfect? Hell no. But we meet in the middle and we fit together like a puzzle. And the things that we had issues with, we worked through them. We were compatible enough and loved each other enough that we were willing to work through the things that needed work. And now here we are. And the thing is, when you're married, it never stops. You're always improving and challenging each other. And I love it because it's this constant work. And I don't understand why some people, particularly women, when they get into marriage, just stop trying. Why would you? You're acting like you can't lose the person. Marriage doesn't mean that you're never going to lose that person. It's basically a commitment that both of you decide, okay, you're part of my family, I'm part of your family now. On paper, we are each other's family. So if something happens to me, you're family and you can come in the room and help me legally. That's what that is. So if you are looking for people and you're making a lifestyle, just understand your lifestyle might not fit or be compatible with what the guy would want. And it's not that he hates you or anything, but you have to understand that. Like, it is what it is. If you really want this and you're desperate enough to make videos online talking about how much you want this, then you have to be willing to make sacrifices. You're strong and independent, great. Why would a guy want to hang around if you're showing, I'm swinging my dick around, I got everything I could ever want? And most guys are not into that. It's not that they're threatened by women, but there's a lot of women who are independent who flaunt it in everybody's face. And in that way, you're marketing yourself to say, I don't need anybody's help. I got this. I'm independent too. But you know what? There are times when I allow my man, like he'll come, like, let me handle this. Where I'm trying to fix something myself and he's like, babe, I got this. And sometimes I'll tease him a little bit. No, I got it, babe. It's okay. No. Let your man handle this. And even though I can do it, I know it means a lot to him as a man to have me trust him to take care of me, to make him feel wanted, to make him feel appreciated. I don't want to swing my dick around and be like, I'm better than you in everything. Like, we have our little competitive things playfully. Most of the time, I let him handle stuff because he likes doing that. He likes being driven. That's his purpose. If he says, I could do a better job than you could anyway, you're just going to end up messing it up. You don't even know how to plaster properly. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'm like, damn, baby, you're so cute. Like, and he told me with his own mouth that he loves me because I make him feel wanted. I make him feel like a man. He said those words to me. And apparently his other girlfriends did not make him feel like that. So if you're the type of woman and if you have to say, I'm independent, like, okay, first of all, that's 101 as an adult. Every adult should be independent. But if you have to use that as a marketing tool for yourself, it doesn't work with men. Men don't want to hear that. Men want to know, okay, you're an adult. Show me. You can take care of yourself. I get that. But if you're swinging your dick around, we can't both have our dicks swinging around unless we're gay. That energy puts off men. And then what makes it worse is women who then vilify men for being put off by that. We are built differently. Women and men are built differently. The very fact that this woman is sitting in this car, desperately crying for attention and upset that she's alone shows the difference between men and women. Most men don't sit in the car doing this shit. They suffer in silence. Most men who have learned to be men, if they're alone and they're suffering and they don't know what they're doing wrong, they buckle up and they keep it pushing. Women are the ones who make these TikTok videos crying on the internet wondering, why doesn't anyone love me? Most of those are women. And it's because we're built differently. We're more emotional, and no matter how independent we are, we're gonna want that masculine energy to make us feel safe. That's how we're wired. No matter how much we try to hijack our instinct, the majority of us feel that way. And I know why people fight over this so much. Now, this girl did make another video, and she says that she likes traditional roles, so she's not like this ultra radical feminist based on what she claimed, but you do give off that energy when you make videos like this, so you can't really blame people for thinking that.
Like, I know I have my dog and I love him so much, but like, I need love. All of my friends have their fiancés and their boyfriends and their husbands that they prioritize. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I've been left behind.
Honey, listen to what you just said. Listen to what you just said. One thing I will give this girl, and I do respect her for, is she's honest. She doesn't hold back. She says what she's thinking and what she sees, which is a good trait. But you just said all your friends, your girlfriends, have their husbands and their boyfriends that they prioritize. Yet earlier in your rant, you're saying that, what about what I want? Okay, you're by yourself, they all have people. You literally just said that they prioritize them. Is it possible that you don't prioritize your men? Is it possible that your strength and independence and all about you and the work you're putting in, you, me, what I want could be off-putting to people? If the men feel like you don't prioritize them, why would they want to prioritize you? Love is about prioritizing each other. Sometimes you can allow people to take care of you, but you have to also be willing to take care of that guy. If he is taking care of you, are you going to take care of him when he's down? And not just that, are you prioritizing having relationships in general? Those girls, I bet you if you talk to your friends, maybe they tried to talk to you and you wouldn't let them, try talking to them again. Maybe you've complained enough, but you're not changing any of your actions, that they're just put off by you and they don't even want to talk to you anymore. But if you do still have close friends, tell them to tell you the truth. And I would be surprised if the majority of them didn't say, yeah, I put my work into finding a man, trying to impress a man or trying to win a guy over. Not my career. Doesn't mean you still can't have a career. You should always have something to fall back on. If if you're smart, you should pick up certain skills or have trade schools under your belt so that if something does happen, you can go out there and live as an adult. That makes sense. Have some kind of experience. But I'm sure if you talk to a lot of those girls, they made moves towards attracting men and they prioritized their relationship. And the men saw that and realized, oh, she needs me. I'm going to prioritize chasing her then. You're probably not doing that. Look at what you're doing and look at what they're doing. And if it's so hard for you to be surrounded by people who are doing this and you still don't see that you're doing anything wrong and don't want anyone to tell you you're wrong, then you're probably a narcissist. And that is something that you need to continue getting therapy for. My mom is the same way. Like, things will happen to her and she will literally sit there, why does everyone leave me? When we've all already told her why. We've legit had that conversation and she'll be like, yes, I'm horrible, I shouldn't have done this, and then backtrack or lie on us and spread rumors about us. Oh, this is my children, look how unruly they are. Like, bro. So we stopped talking to her. I mean, we still do because she's our mom, but we stopped talking to her for a while because, like, this bitch is crazy. She's a fucking narcissist. Nothing ever that she does is wrong. She'll sit there and cry to her brother and all the other family members. Oh my God, they left me. My children don't talk to me. My husband left. Look how horrible. God has abandoned me. But you never once tell anybody the things that you did to cause us to want to run away from you. This isn't an overnight thing. This is something that people who are narcissists, they deal with for long periods of time. Maybe they're broken and something happened to them when they were younger. And that carries over as a means for control and attention that they didn't get when they were old, when they were younger. My mom was badly abused by her mom. She never had any control. Her mom was very, very controlling, very abusive. And she always wanted her mom to just love her, and she never got that. So maybe in her older age, she's like, I need to feel like I'm in control. And I spent my whole life being told I was ugly and something was wrong with me. So it just carries forward, which ironically was the same traits that grandma had. You ended up becoming the very person that you didn't want to become. But even still, as an adult, when people are calling you out on this, your children, your friends, your husband will leave you. That's damn. You must take some inventory, but even still, they'll do it for a minute. They'll agree, say, yes, you're right, I should change. And the next day, ugh, You said some horrible things to me. How could you say those things to me? Bro, what? I just don't get, like, the narcissism is something like I can never get, because you literally tell this person, show them, hey, this is what you did to me. You hurt me. You broke me. I'm sorry. Next day, you need to watch how you talk to me. Like, bro, this is why a lot of people don't talk to their parents. This is why a lot of females end up like this woman, not wondering how the hell, why am I alone? Am I being punished? Same shit my mom said. It's like, it doesn't even enter their mind that they could be doing something wrong. And if it does, it flies away, because it can't be them. It has to be everybody else. Everybody else. God's just testing them. God will give you favor. It's just everybody else. It's the devil. It's this person. It's that person. Take some accountability. Stop rushing and work on yourself. You're not all there yet? Fine. Continue to get there. If you have put all this work into yourself as you said you have, fair enough. Maybe you need to put a little bit more work into your emotions and your expectations. Start looking for people, not just that match your energy, because whatever the hell that fucking means, I don't think you can even handle someone like that. That would probably be very toxic for you. Find a good person, not someone to compete with your friends and their husbands or boyfriends. Find someone who is good for you, someone who could love you. If you care more about love than you do how much they make or what they look like, a lot of women would be happy if they just went after that, you know? Providing the person is not like morbidly obese or something and they can take care of themselves. But you can choose people who are average, like you. It's okay. Not everyone has to have a monarch as a partner. I think most of the best men are average Joes. They're hardworking. Most of them, I would like to believe, are loyal if given the chance. Or maybe not most of them, but a lot of them are good men. And if you find the right person that is compatible with you, you could have a very happy life. But I think your expectations are way too high. And if you continue having very high expectations, I didn't say low standards. You can still have high standards. But if you have high standards and very high expectations, you will find no one. Because there will always be something wrong with somebody. And you will always either be too clingy and try to change that person to suit yourself, or they'll just be turned off by your need to control everything to match their energy and their vibe and their output.
And I really just want to find that person that matches my energy and wants to build a life with me. Is that so hard?
Then go out there and start searching and stop making TikToks crying about it. Now, I mean, this video is already up there. It ain't going nowhere, even if she deletes it. It's already out there in the ether. And I hate to say this, but here's what's going to end up happening. Desperation that you're emitting in wafts is going to turn off the good people, and guess what's going to be left? It's going to attract people just like you, the desperate people. You don't want someone who's desperate, because those are the people that are going to make you lose faith in humanity. They're just as desperate as you are. They're going to see some lonely guys and be like, oh, she's lonely and desperate for love. So am I. Oh, but then when those guys approach you, you're like, ew, no. But bro, they're a mirror image of you. If you're disgusted by men like that, then you should be disgusted in yourself. And I'm not speaking out of my ass. I've been that person. I see this and I'm like, ugh. You know what I wouldn't do? I would never go online and talk this shit out to people, like crying my eyes out in front of the freaking camera, because I would think to myself, first of all, it's no one's damn business. Second of all, what the fuck? You're a grown-ass woman, and you don't once consider that if you did have someone who would have otherwise been your husband or your bridegroom to be, whatnot, that they would see this video and feel the same way that you would feel about that desperate guy coming up to you and say, ugh, stay away from that one. That one's a walking contradiction. Red flag galore.
Because I can see us holding hands.
And then you make videos like this. Let's say the person is interested in you. You make a video saying how it feels knowing I'm not responsible for anyone's dumb son with Peter Pan syndrome and have turned all my pain into gains. Any guy that's like, all right, maybe I feel bad for her, and then they see that cocky ass clip that you put up and they're like, yeah, nah, I'm good. She's a batshit crazy person. What the fuck does that even mean? You come off in one hand, why doesn't anyone love me? But then you make clips turning everybody off and being condescending to men in general. And most men, I know this doesn't apply to them, but that's how men are gonna take it, trust me. Because you're now putting yourself alongside the other women on TikTok, the swath of women on TikTok who do talk down bad about men. And men are just gonna see that and be like, nah. Imagine if a guy did that, right? Feeling glad I'm not responsible for anybody's daughter that has daddy issues and blah, blah, blah. If a guy had made the same clip from his point of view and said that shit, women would be up in arms. He'd probably get banned from TikTok. And if he came out, he's like, I'm not talking about everybody, duh. But people would look at you and be like, ew, you're fucking narcissist. What a dumbass. Why would you make this video? As cringy as that would be, this is the same kind of cringe with what this girl did. So now everyone's looking at that and they're like, well, why would we feel bad for you? Look at you. Look at how you're behaving. Look at the things that you say. I didn't even need to look in any of her other clips to see this. I can already tell just from the clip that she made ranting that she's a narcissist. And then maybe you need to find other narcissists to match your energy. And then you can both bitch at each other for the rest of your lives. Then you wouldn't need to change anything because the both of you would always be trying to one-up each other and it'd be a cute little friendly challenge, or it would end up in a life-ending plague of fire disaster. I think it's harder to even do that today because guys will look at that and they'll be like, yeah, a crazy woman like this will probably say I did something to her and then I just go to jail without any evidence. So yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that. That's probably more of the reason why guys would stay away. Yeah, I would say you need more work. Stop being so desperate. If you really are happy with your life the way you say you are, then you wouldn't be on TikTok crying into the camera and asking why you're being punished because you're super lonely and you haven't found your person or manifested them. Just saying.